What the fuck is up, guys? Welcome to the Film Knobs Pod, a loose movie review podcast hosted by myself and two other idiots who have absolutely no idea what we're talking about as we sit down, discuss movies, and ruin our friendship one opinion at a time. Say hi, idiots.
Hi, I'm an idiot. I'm Bowden.
What's up? My name is Ashton.
Oh, there he is.
Ashton with the
mouse.
patented Ashton energy. That's what we call that right there.
Can't be bothered to be here, honestly. This is a problem for him.
Thanks for letting me be
The
here.
stress of fatherhood is draining his life force as we speak.
Day by day.
So, at the time of listening, when this episode is set to come out, it actually falls perfectly on Valentine's Day. Aw.
Or near Valentine's Day, or a week after Valentine's Day. It will be near Valentine's Day.
Yeah, depending when we decide to edit it, if we decide to continue the podcast. But we decided, what better way to celebrate such a romantic day than to crack open beer, hop on a Zoom call with the boys, and yell at each other for about 30 minutes. So today,
In the air.
we're going to be discussing our favorite romance movies, as well as our favorite couples in a romance movie, or maybe not necessarily in a romance movie, it could just be any movie, but our favorite couples as well. And they might not have to be in the same film, obviously. So I don't really care that. I'll start with mentioning I don't really care that much about romance as a genre. But there's so many that are just so wonderful and just they make your whole body warm, you know?
Do you have like hate in your heart, would you say? Like, is that accurate to say that?
I'm just like a crusty old dude, a crusty old soul, really.
You're like the
Crusty.
Grinch, but for like romance.
I'm like Ebenezer Scrooge for love, almost.
You're the Scrooge of love. Fucked up, man.
Needless to say, I actually had to do my homework here, and I had to watch a lot of movies this week. I'll tell you one thing, I cried a lot this week. I cried every day, multiple times every day, sometimes 8 times a day. Really.
Oh.
Yeah, and
Was that all while watching movies?
all while
or
watching
just
all while
periodic,
watching one movie.
periodically through the day, just thinking about the movie?
Was this related to the task of watching romance movies, or was this just you confessing that you've been depressed lately?
So, guys, I've been pretty sad lately, actually.
Yeah, was this a perfect time to watch these movies for you?
But no, I don't care that much about the genre, but I actually found some good movies in here. But as usual, we're going to throw it over to our bread and butter here, Bowden, who leads the charge every week. So, Bowden, what do you think? What were your favorite movies that you were talking about?
And just Bowden the Vanguard over here, man. Just fucking bringing up the front, dude. Front lines.
Take us into battle.
Take us deep into battle. Okay, so I think Chase deduced what my choice was.
Did I really?
You did, yeah.
I knew it.
And just for like a quick honorable mentions, because I'm not going to go into detail on the other picks that I have. I almost chose La La Land for this. It's such La La Land just is such a beautiful movie.
Doesn't do it.
Fire ass beats, great musical movie.
Mm-mm.
And shout out to Scott Pilgrim too. Scott Pilgrim is just a fucking amazing movie. Doesn't rely on the romance alone. It has great action, comedy too. But my choice, guys, just the best romance movie that I've ever seen is Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
I fucking called it, dude. Oh, man. I knew it. I
knew it. Detective Chase on the case, what could say.
Oh, man. Paw Patrol. Isn't that the guy from Paw Patrol? Chase on the case. The dog.
Ashton, I think you're going to be very proud of me because this is not even an American movie. This is actually a French language movie.
Whoa.
Wow, that's
breaking
great.
down barriers here on this podcast.
And talk about
I am now interested.
There you go.
Building
and like
bridges.
talk about just the language of love. And this movie is filled with love.
I would hope that it is. It's a romance movie. So tell us, Bowden, because I don't know much about it other than that it seems pretty pretentious.
Definitely not pretentious. You can stop talking now. Portrait of a Lady on Fire is, like I said, a French language movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes place in Brittany, France. I've never heard of this place, but when you watch the movie, it's one of the most beautiful places on the earth that I've ever fucking seen.
Mm.
Do you know other places in France? Like a lot of other places, like to where this one is like, oh, I don't know that place.
Yeah,
Like, are you good with
Like,
geography in France?
like Paris. Like, there's that place, right?
Oh, okay. So,
Okay, yeah.
all right.
Knowledgeable.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. So go back to go back to wallowing and fucking self pity, Ashton. You fucking badass father. This movie takes place at the end of the 18th century, so it's like a cool little period piece. It's basically about this.
No, I'm just kidding.
Wow, Chase. Wow, we're canceled. Third episode and we're canceled again. A female painter is our main character. Her name is Marianne. She's commissioned by this like aristocrat family to paint a wedding portrait of this young woman. This young woman, her name is, I have it written down here, is Heloise. It's like that's a French name, I guess. Name. It like takes place in France, so it's like a French name, you could say. Heloise. Heloise is being arranged to be married to this wealthy nobleman, and it's a situation she very much does not wish to be in. It's just an arranged marriage.
Okay.
The catch of this movie is, though, that the previous painters that have been hired to paint Heloise for this wedding portrait, they've all been unable to do their job because she absolutely refuses to pose for them for the painting. The reason being essentially to delay the wedding as long as possible. No wedding portrait, no wedding.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's not funny. Chase is pretty sad. So yeah.
Okay. Very sad.
I thought that would have been a funny part of the movie. Yeah. Like, it's a little chuckle.
Apparently not.
I'd get a chuckle out of that.
This is a grim movie.
Apparently, it's not a comedy
at all. You never smile. Apparently.
Wow. So Marianne is the latest painter to be hired, and what they're going to do is she's being brought on under the guise of being like a caretaker / companion to Heloise. Her job.
Did you say Omarion?
Omarion.
No, not the like rapper,
Icebox Omarion.
I thought that immediately.
Is it, dude? Shout out to Step Up, or what was that? What was that dance movie he was?
I think that's Channing Tatum.
No, not okay. Then it's not Step Up.
Dirty Dancing.
Oh my god! Oh, You Got Served. Is that what it's called? Omarion is in You Got Served or whatever. The breakdancing.
Maybe movie? He might be. I think so.
Dude, there's romance in that. I should have picked that. Fuck. Anyway,
yeah, that's easily a top 5
for sure.
Marianne is basically being brought under the guise of being like a caretaker, essentially, and her job is to secretly study Heloise's appearance enough so that she can paint her without Heloise ever having posed for her. That's basically the whole premise of the movie.
Okay.
And before I go into like my review and my notes on this movie, I have this review I saw on Letterboxd from this Letterboxd user that just completely encapsulates the feeling you get when you watch this movie. These kind of reviews, I wish I could like be creative enough to write, and I just envy this kind of like prose from this person. So this is their review. I'll just read it word for word. You ever find yourself staring at a bonfire, just zoning out and watching the flame change every second, feeling the heat, the energy, the anger, the tension? You get what I'm saying. It's a beautifully hypnotic thing. And that's exactly what Portrait of a Lady on Fire is. The only difference being that this brought me to tears in ways a bonfire never could. And when I read that, I'm like, wow, that really is exactly, that nails this movie to a T for me.
Wow.
Not only are the performances from the two leads like transcendent and amazing, but like this movie has like technical precision that you don't really see often. Like the cinematography is just like stunningly gorgeous. Like every single frame of this movie could literally be a painting on its own. Like I'm talking every frame. Like the color, I don't know what kind of like if they do any color correction in like post-production, or if the French coastline is actually just that vibrantly beautiful. But
I was going to ask, does it take place in like is it like a very coastal kind of outdoorsy area, like a natural environment? It's not like a city, right?
Yeah, they're not in any kind of civilized area. This is very much out in like a rural coastline area where it's basically this little chateau on the coast. And the only characters in the movie are the two leads, another maid, and like the mother of Heloise. pretty much the only characters we see. So it's very like quiet, very contained little story.
Now, didn't this film win? This film won multiple awards, did it not? I've heard of this film many times, I think.
It did. I think it won multiple awards at the Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah. It's a Cannes.
I think the director, her name is Celine Sciamma. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right, but I think I think she was the first female director to win one of the awards they give out at the Cannes Film Festival. I forget what
That's awesome.
Iconic,
yeah, really
cool. But
so
yeah,
the romance is between the main woman and the woman who is hired to paint her, basically.
Right, the woman who's being arranged to be wed,
secret,
and
yeah.
the painter being hired to paint her for the wedding portrait. Yeah, it's really just this really slow burn romance between these two. You'd think that they would just fall for each other right away, and they would just be just a fun fling before they're forced to separate and lead their lives. But it's really not that. It's kind of this deep study of like attraction and like what it means. And they they know they can never truly be together, but their pull towards one another is so strong, and they just decide to completely abandon caution eventually and just kind of revel in the moment. It's a really powerful idea in the movie. The two leads, they give one of the most emotional performances I've maybe ever seen in a film.
I've seen the reviews are very, very, very amazing. I've noticed.
Yeah, they're like their acting ability in this movie is just like a master class. They have so many. It's so subtle. Like their steadily growing attraction to one another. The elegance, the warmth with which every story beat is achieved is like so fucking breathtaking. One of the draws for me, also besides just the like crazy romance, is the premise of her secretly painting her throughout the movie. I thought it was just a really interesting like hook for anyone who enjoys watching like even someone as simple as like Bob Ross. You can definitely relate to like the interest and the intrigue you feel when you watch someone like paint, like especially Marion in this movie, who's like an incredibly world-class talented painter, you know?
I'm not going to yell at you for calling Bob Ross simple just now, but
no, I just mean like his paintings aren't like the Mona Lisa, you know what I mean? That's what I mean. He's great. He's like, but you get the feeling you get from Bob Ross, that like calming and soothing entertainment value, that you get that from Marion painting this movie, and it's just
wow.
It's really cool.
Do you have a favorite painter?
I don't think so. I can't think of anyone that like I don't really like value.
I'm sure Ashton does.
Yeah, Ashton, since who do you like find inspiration in?
I'm a big fan of Keith Haring.
Keith Haring?
Is that like a country singer?
Oh, it's a local.
He's actually Kutztown local.
Yeah. He's local to the area in which Ashton and all of us have grown up in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. But like being out in California, I've seen some of his paintings here at some of the museums.
Ashton actually wakes up every morning and for a solid 30 minutes stares only at artwork to start his day.
Of course.
To find inspiration.
Who else? I mean, who else but me?
With like his hand placed delicately on his chin, just like nodding.
Yeah, and he
always have a glass of wine, white, but only white wine.
He doesn't wear glasses normally, but he will put them on and then push them down every now and then to stare intently at something.
They're reading glasses. They're reading glasses.
Oh, also I should say that the painting itself, there is a titular painting in the movie called, and the title of the painting is Portrait of a Lady on Fire. It's like, it is a beautiful painting. I don't know. I think they had, I remember reading on the Wikipedia that they had a painter do all of the paintings for this movie. And I'm assuming she was the one who also drew, or who also painted Portrait of a Lady on Fire. And it's a really beautiful painting. I guess I really would love to go into like spoilery stuff because it accentuates how amazing the writing is for this movie, but I'll try to abstain because I want people to enjoy this movie as much as possible.
Yeah, I'd rather,
Yeah, we spoke briefly before about how we are going to try our best not to reveal spoilers, so people that listen to the podcast can watch the movies that we talk about.
I will say though that the very final shot of this movie is just a probably like a 2 to 3 minute still frame of the one actress giving this emotive performance, and it's one of the most like empathetic, amazing, emotional performances you will see in a movie, and it ends the movie like that, and it's fucking breathtaking. This movie is amazing.
Well, that's a great segue into mine because mine's better.
Oh God, here we fucking go.
Here it is.
Oh, switch up. You're gonna go.
So when I was looking for romance movies, I really did not want to go with any of like the super blockbustery ones. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go with like The Notebook or Dirty Dancing or anything like that. Even though they're all objectively 5-star movies that are like amazing and do exactly what they're supposed to do. So I went with another one,
which is
make you cry, make you feel a little warm. But I went this time with something that I actually enjoy as a romance film. And that is, Bowden already mentioned it, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Woo!
Fantastic fucking movie. It's not like your everyday cookie cutter fucking romance movie. It is so much more. And it's by, if I'm not mistaken, Bowden, it's Edgar Wright. It's one of your favorite directors, is it not?
One of my favorite directors. Chase, can you name one other movie Edgar Wright has made?
I can. Edgar Wright has also done Shaun of the Dead,
He did his research. God fucking damn it.
So.
No, I think he's looking at it right now.
He's
I went to it. What are you talking about?
Clicking.
But so yeah, you guys have seen this film, right? I don't have to go into much detail explaining what it is to you guys. But basically, Scott Pilgrim versus the World follows young Scott Pilgrim, who is a 22-year-old, like radical kind of Canadian rock star, wannabe rock star. He's a part of like a shitty little band that isn't really famous yet. They're kind of getting their foot in the door. That's how they describe themselves. So that's what I'm saying. And
okay.
And he ends up falling in love with this girl called Ramona Flowers. But in order to have Ramona Flowers' hand in marriage, or just to date, I guess, he has to defeat 7 of her evil exes.
Dun, dun, dun.
In hand-to-hand combat, which is fucking hilarious. It's such a funny idea for a movie.
It's amazing.
One of my favorite things about this film is not just the plot or anything. It's like how it's shot and edited. It plays like a video game or like a comic book almost. There's so many cool words that pop up, like sound effect words that just pop up, and it just makes everything more attractive to watch, especially when they're playing music or fighting. It's very video game-esque in that regard. Like they're completely defy logic and fly around and shit for no reason, and it's just hilarious. But yeah, that is my choice right there. Ashton, what's yours?
Well, what? You're going to Ashton? Piece of shit. No, we can save Ashton for later. First of all, Edgar Wright.
Ashton's movie is fantastic.
Wait, before we get, you can. Bowden, you want to add on to that?
Yeah, just that Edgar Wright. You mentioned the editing in this movie, and that is one of the things I love about Edgar Wright's movies. I don't know if he works with the same editor every movie, but he retains the same style every time. Like, if you've ever seen, like, for anyone who's listening, if you ever seen like Hot Fuzz or Baby Driver, that kind of like quick cutty, spontaneous like editing is like so fun and comedic, and it gives like such a like energetic style to his movies, and I love that shit. And
this is, I want to say, it is very my humor. Like this, it's so fun to find a movie that exactly encapsulates like the humor that you have. You know what I mean? And this is a movie like that for me. Like every little thing about it is hilarious. His roommate, his brother, or it's not his brother, it's his roommate. Kieran Culkin, is that who it is? Who is that actor?
Oh, the actor? I'm not sure who the actor is, actually. I can picture him in my mind, though.
Anna Kendrick is in it as well. She's hilarious. The main actor, though, Scott Pilgrim, is Michael Cera, of course, who plays like this kind of reserved, little nervous rock star guy who ends up going after a total opposite of Ramona, truly. It was like a badass kind of girl who kicks ass, really.
Aubrey Plaza's in this, too, in a small role.
Yeah, Aubrey Plaza is in this. And she's
is he his Scott's sister, or she's just a friend of his that like works at the
I think she's just a friend, and
the music store.
Her funny shtick is that she's seen working in several different locations throughout the film.
Right, that's what it was.
Yeah, her name is Julie Powers, and it's like everywhere that Scott goes, randomly, wherever the scene is taking place, Aubrey Plaza will be there at some point to yell at him in some way. And it's like, Scott's always scared, like, why are you working here?
Dude, and great cameos in Scott Pilgrim. Like, shout out to Chris Evans, amazing cameo in this movie.
Absolutely. Oh man, I want to get into how they fight.
Oh my god, dude, and Brandon Routh as the vegan ex with like psychic powers. Oh my god, amazing scene.
Yeah,
so good. This movie is just so much fun.
Yeah, I had to.
Beautiful,
I didn't want to pick. I didn't want to pick like a
romance.
normal. Like, I really wanted to choose The Notebook, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you because I love it so much.
Hey, I mean, nobody would blame you.
But I really just didn't want to.
I would.
I really didn't want to.
Ashton would. Ashton's in a pit of despair, so he would blame you for anything.
I'm curious as to what
sure.
Ashton's is, because Ashton is.
Well, you've never heard of
romantic,
it. You know, you've never heard of it.
Oh man, wait. Let me think. What would Ashton pick? Like, what kind of ancient sunken ship would they have to like besiege and find the
last
tape
hard
of?
copy?
Yes. Like they must have had to do some kind of deep sea dive to find this tape of what Ashton showed.
Yeah, it was like found in a treasure chest in the middle of nowhere.
They salvaged it from the Mariana Trench.
In an Egyptian tomb, it was found.
So, what is yours, Ashton? What is your choice?
I'm so curious.
My film is a 2014 film by the famous directors, the Safdie brothers.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Again,
it's a film. It's a film. Heaven knows what, and it's a very loving movie. It's about a young woman who goes on her, like, it just follows her on in throughout New York City.
Okay.
And shows her and basically a toxic but loving relationship between heroin addicts. So it's very amazing.
That makes sense that you would choose it because you.
But honestly, it is the best depiction that I've seen of like just substance abuse inside of a toxic relationship, to where like there's just love there that you would never understand. Kind of like you would like, you guys are just killing each other, but you guys love each other. And it's like I said, the best depiction of substance abuse that I've seen.
Oh.
I can see you as a person. I feel similar. The idea of like drug addicts falling in love in like film or in cinema or just
it's a very real movie, and that's
very
what I like.
real. Yeah, and it's so visceral. So
yeah,
it's
so
destructive and depressing.
What makes it even more real is that Ben Safdie and Josh Safdie cold casted her. So they basically found her on a New York subway. Started talking to her. Obviously, she looked like a little, like, I don't know what the word is. Like, homelessly, yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, strung out. So they started talking to her, found out her life story, and they asked her to write a book. So she wrote a book, and then Ben Safdie and Josh Safdie made a movie about it.
Wow.
Yeah, so like she plays herself, she wrote the book, and like she's going on about like, I don't know if it's a true story. I don't know that far, and doesn't say anything about her being like it truly happening. I didn't read the book, but it goes on just with her, like it's like a day in the life almost. But it's it features some amazing music. If you've seen Uncut Gems, just loud music, loud sounds.
I've unfortunately seen Uncut Gems.
Yeah, it's amazing, beautiful stuff.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's a good movie, Bowden. I don't know what your fucking reservation against Adam Sandler is, but it's a great film.
Don't worry,
yes.
for our loyal fans. Don't worry, I will fight for you in the Adam Sandler debate that is forthcoming. It will happen.
The people
I'm fighting for you guys.
It won't. But again, this film is a must-watch for some.
So is it basically like her kind of trying to get, or her and her boyfriend trying to get over their addiction, or like beat it together type thing, like that kind of romantic battle together? Like, I need you to beat this.
No, it's very
depressing.
You never know what they're thinking. Really. Like it's very like, if you've seen Uncut Gems, it's very stressful. It's a stressful movie to where like you don't know what's gonna happen next. Like,
No, wait, I gotta ask though. Would you have chosen this movie if it wasn't directed by the Safdie brothers, who you seem to have a mega erection for?
well, they're so amazing.
It's like, wow, this movie is also similar to another Safdie brothers film. Like, is it similar to other films that exist?
No, you just know you could almost say it's like how you could suck Edgar Wright's dick on like everything he does with fast cutting and all that stuff.
This is the first time I've mentioned Edgar Wright.
Like, no, you mentioned it the first time on how he's your favorite director, and then as soon as you said Edgar Wright, it's almost as if like you ate something delicious. You were like, and I love Edgar Wright.
Are they your favorite directors though? Number one.
Yeah, wait.
As of now, yes.
That's like your favorite director?
Yeah, like which one? Yes. You have to pick one. Kill
who's
one.
Better?
Kill one, keep one.
Oh.
If one of the Softies had to die.
I don't think I could do that. I don't think, because they're both, you could tell that they both work on everything together and it's both like a two-person thing.
It's kind of sad though, don't you think, that like as far as duo directors goes, that they pale in comparison to the Russo brothers?
Ooh.
No, they film a lot of their stuff. They stay local.
Or the Coen brothers actually too. That's funny.
No, they're I've never seen a movie like Uncut Gems, Good Time, Daddy Longlegs, or heaven knows what. So I think they're on a different page than your guys, like Edgar Wright and superheroes.
You have a Captain America Winter Soldier, Russo brothers. Come on, fucking unbeatable.
Yeah, wow, amazing stuff. Truly amazing. Like, that's why I picked Heaven Knows What, because it's true. I don't know if it's true, but it's real. You see the real life stuff there.
I do like that, though.
Real love, because your stuff, I didn't even hear any romance. Your stuff is, I heard painting. There's more paintings.
Wow.
And, like, look at this painting. Guess what? She's not going to do the painting, but she might do the painting at the end. And then you have Chase talking about your favorite type of stuff, superheroes. But I'll be honest.
Fuck?
I think it
goes. I'm cutting you off. No, it's not even a superhero movie. You piece.
I'll be honest.
How dare you?
I think it goes for this week. I think it goes me, or it goes me. Yeah,
you don't even know.
Chase and then Bowden.
You don't even know.
Me, Chase, and Bowden.
Absolutely wrong. Despicable comment. Truly, I think.
Dude,
everybody go watch Heaven Knows What. You can rent it on Amazon Prime. Beautiful movie.
Undeserving.
Beautiful movie.
That's cool though. It sounds like a good movie. It's hard
I think you'd like it.
It's fucking hard to watch.
You'd like it, Chase.
It's very hard to watch. Like drug addicts destroy themselves. It's just so difficult to see.
This one isn't depressing all the time though. Like this one has some very like uplifting moments, and then just some very sad moments, some like what the fuck moments, and it's a very like roller coaster of a movie.
So you said they cold casted the lead, Arielle Holmes. Is this the only film she's ever been in?
From what I know, yes. And then also there's Caleb Landry Jones, who I believe is in Get Out, and then also I forget the other guy's name, but he is also in Good Times. I don't know if you could find that name.
Robert Pattinson.
No, Buddy Duress.
Buddy Duress.
He is also in Good Time, with Robert Pattinson.
Very cool.
But the Safdie brothers are just on a roll. I believe they're working on a new film, so check that out, Bowden. Sure, you'll be impressed.
Safdie brothers, come sit down with us.
No, I troll you, but they seem like cool, seem like talented directors. I want to see Good Time. Is it Good Times or Good Time?
Good Time. Good Time.
I want to see that. I remember seeing the trailer for that a while ago, and it just seemed like a really fun.
It's
movie.
Again like another roller coaster of a movie. Daddy Longlegs, I believe, is their first movie, and it's I believe in an interview or something that Adam Sandler said, like, after watching Daddy Longlegs, that's what made him want to actually work with.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why. Uncut Gems was great, even though it was dreadfully miscast. I thought it was a really good movie.
You're a piece of shit. Name somebody else that could do it. Name somebody
Gary
else.
Oldman.
But no. Actually, we'll save it.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
It's horrible stuff.
They would all
horrible
have been great.
Stuff. Amazing actors, horrible. Like nobody. No.
Gary Oldman would be fucking great. I stand by that. But anyway,
horrible.
Jake Jill can do anything he wants.
You're probably the worst at casting.
Jake Jill is, he kind of can do
anything.
anything. Like, come on, Ashton. You can't tell me he wouldn't be great in the movie just because of his sheer skill.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not going to say, I'm not agreeing with you, but I'm just saying Jake Jill's amazing.
Come on. Oh my God. I'm fucking
disrespectful piece of shit.
Do we want to move on to the best romantic couples in movies? Because I have the definitive answer to this question.
Oh my God, I'd love to hear this. But first, actually, yeah, let's just jump into
that. A word from
our
sponsors?
Yeah, but first, a word from our sponsor. We actually have the Safdie brothers in the studio with us right now.
Speaking of the Safdie brothers.
They're doing a sound check. Now, let's jump right into it, Bowden. What is your couple that you love so much that you can't live without?
Well, yeah, we decided when we were doing the romance movies, we were like, hey, why not do because the romance movie might be great to us, but it might not have like a classic couple pairing that's like great in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking around on Letterboxd, looking at all the movies I've seen, like ever seen pretty much, and I'm like, what? Even if it's not romantic, like what's a great couple? And I stumbled on a movie, and I'm like, oh my God, they are the best couple that I might have ever seen on film. And it is it is Ron Burgundy and Veronica Corningstone from Anchorman.
Oh my God!
And you cannot tell me that is not the best movie couple ever.
That is actually
perfect.
That is objectively so funny, and I love it.
Isn't that such a great thing?
Perfect.
That is.
He's such a misogynist, and she is so like she hates him, but is so magnetically drawn to him. And they're so funny together. They're both so independently hilarious, but together they're just this amazing duo. It's awesome. They're so great together.
I think that's perfect.
And for anybody who doesn't know, those people are fictional characters in the movie Anchorman, a comedy with Will Ferrell.
If you haven't seen Anchorman, you can turn this podcast off right now. You have my permission. Go watch that, and then come back to us and follow and like and subscribe.
Oh, I can't wait for us to get to like eventually when we decide to do like an actor's filmography and we just talk about a certain actor for like an episode. Will Ferrell's episode is going to be so fun to me because Will Ferrell's filmography, I was just looking at it the other day. I mean, every funny movie in my childhood, there's so many, he is a part of in some way, almost. And I can't wait to do that one.
Oh my God, yeah. And of course, I also had Scott Pilgrim and Ramona Flowers on there, of course. They're such a cool couple. So fun. And just because I'm the superhero guy in this podcast, I had to think of, like, there's really not many great couples in the superhero movies. There's really not, I gotta admit, there's not many great ones that are fleshed out. But probably the best one that I could think of, at least, was Tony Stark and Pepper Potts. I think they were a cool couple. I just wanted to mention them. Shout out to Pepper Potts.
Pepper Potts.
Oh, I also have shout out to Gomez and Morticia Addams. They are just a legendary couple.
Very
legendary family, even matriarch and patriarch of an epic family.
I don't care that much about the fucking Addams family. I just don't.
The Addams family?
Isn't that what that is? Gomez, who'd you say?
Yeah, how do you not care about the Addams family?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't care about them.
That's an amazing couple.
Very weird.
No.
My couple, I honestly couldn't think of that many. I wrote down, you're going to laugh at this one because I immediately erased it. I wrote down Forrest and Jenny from Forrest Gump.
That's horrible.
Then I realized they're objectively the worst couple ever in film.
They might actually be the worst fucking couple ever.
Yeah, literally, because
oh my
he's
God,
been in love with her his whole life, and she's just been the worst human ever to him.
Just scorned him every chance she got.
And then when she comes back, when she gets AIDS, she's like, yeah, I guess I'll fucking marry you now, and dies the next day. But
oh my God,
I wrote down Clementine and Joel from Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind for my favorite.
I just watched Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind for the first time yesterday.
Yep.
And they are an awesome couple.
They're great, right? I mean, I love the idea of opposites attracting, right? Where it's totally, and Jim Carrey in that role, who is, he kind of has I guess not, he's done so much work, but a trope that a lot of people think of is he's kind of just a wacky guy. He does a lot of wacky characters, right?
Slapstick comedy, yeah.
Yeah. And that one is, I mean, entirely the opposite. He's so melancholic and sad all the time. He's kind of like a lost person in that, where Clementine is the entire opposite. She brings everything out of him, and I love that.
Yes. He's so like subdued in that role. And it's like,
that's a good word for it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're great. I didn't have too many other I thought of Bonnie and Clyde as well. I mean, that's just one of the most historically best couples ever, right? Fucking film.
Oh, yikes, Chase. That was your second choice? Wow. For real?
Are you kidding me? Bonnie and Clyde?
Alrighty then.
What do you mean?
Okay, so my like favorite couple is
Oh God.
some good stuff here. It was actually my first movie that I've ever seen in theaters as a kid. And you know, I was told
Toy Story.
No. I was told that I
Woody
was
and James.
amazing in theaters. I was told I was a natural. Like I just sat there and watched. But it was Castaway,
and
so that's
Nala.
my favorite couple.
Fucking Castaway. That's not bad, I guess.
Oh,
Tom
Castaway.
Hanks
I've never
and
actually
Wilson.
seen that movie.
Tom Hanks
Tom
and
Hanks
Wilson.
and Wilson.
I'm gonna kill myself.
That is my favorite couple.
Object.
You know, they really helped each other get through it, and that's what I like about it.
That's actually
cool.
a clever little choice. I like that.
Yeah, that's a fun one. I mean, that was the fun. One of the fun parts about this. Whereas I'm not too attracted to like romance movies in general, but like it's such a broad idea or like spectrum. Like you can have romance in any film. So it's like when we talked about couples, I was looking at like everything. I didn't have to just
my film Heaven Knows What is considered crime and drama. So, but I would throw some romance in there.
Wait a minute. So if I went to its IMDb or its Wikipedia right now, would it say it is a crime drama / romance movie?
It says crime drama. It does not say romance because I already looked at it.
Yeah.
Ashton,
but it even has in the description. Even in the description, it talks about love. So there you go.
Ashton, did you just absolutely disqualify your choice from this episode?
No. If when you watch it, to the millions of fans, you'll realize that it's a very loving story.
I'm appalled. I'm taken aback.
Your movie is what, a documentary on a fucking painting?
It is like textbook romance movie. A documentary on a painting? You're a fucking savage,
Ashton,
bro. You're
every week, Ashton will take whatever Bowden chooses and minimalize it to one aspect of what it is.
You are devoid of passion.
It's about that.
Jesus
Christ.
I
see nothing wrong with my choice. It is about a couple and they love each other.
And they love ...
Okay, but if we are going to talk about the best one, which one have we all seen that we all love that has been talked about? Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That's it. Mic drop.
I mean, that's not a bad choice, honestly. Like, I would be okay with us deciding collectively that is like...
So I'm looking at Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the IMDb. It says action, comedy, fantasy. Where in there does it talk about romance?
Ashton, I can tell you right now, if you go to Letterboxd...
If that's what... No, that's what you're talking about. You're talking about IMDb's, my film being disqualified.
If I go to romance, if I select by romance in Letterboxd, it is one of the top romance movies. So
I'm sure my film is in there somewhere.
Wait. So, okay, have we all seen The Lobster? Maybe one of the most transcendent romance movies of all time?
Bowden, I could have sworn you were going to talk about The Lobster. I'm so glad.
Honestly, I just looked at the Letterboxd and it reminded me of it. We can all agree that is easily the weirdest romance movie of all time, right?
Oh, man.
Yes.
If anybody wants to absolutely, watch something that doesn't make any sense, that you really can't look away from and you can't turn it off, I was just sat there in a daze when I watched that film.
It's like, wait, what?
It's like, wait, what are we watching?
Wait, what? Every second. Wait, what?
Colin Farrell.
Amazing actors. Yeah, John C. Reilly.
My boy John C. Reilly, one of my favorites in that.
Oh, yeah, he is in that.
He's the friend. He's the friend who...
That's another good romance, the Dewey Cox story.
I was going to talk about Dewey Cox as well. That's one of my favorites.
Well, yeah, I guess that's kind of, sort of. Well, it doesn't even have that's not like at the core of the movie though, is the romance, right?
Yeah, that's why I didn't, because it's one of my favorite films of all time. It's one of my favorite comedy movies of all time, especially. And it's not essentially a romance movie, but it's a big aspect of it. So
you could look at a lot of Tim Burton movies and make them romances as well.
I was gonna be a douche and just choose Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. Beauty and the Beast was on my list as I was thinking of the classic Disney movies, and Beauty and the Beast is a really classic love story.
Yeah,
with a really powerful core.
Love the candle. Yeah, the candle.
Exactly. That's why I was going to.
The candle. You just called him.
The candle.
You called him the candle.
What's his
name?
Was that offensive?
I'm blanking on it right now. Give me 1 second. It is. I was gonna be all indignant and be like, "How dare you forget his name?" But I'm blanking on it, guys. I'm failing. Fuck. It's Mrs. Potts and
I just know the Pokemon.
Lampy.
The Pokemon candle name is like Litwick or something.
Litwick.
You want to talk about Pokemon?
Why am I only thinking of Lampy from what's the Lamp's name from fucking Brave Little Toaster?
It might just be Lampy.
Is it just Lamp? I love Lamp.
That whole man, those were movies,
And
right? The Brave Little Toaster. What a fever dream that was.
Oh my god!
Was it for you guys?
Oh.
It was.
Did you see that, Ashton?
No, I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know. It doesn't sound familiar.
There was like a really dark scene where they almost die in a junkyard in the movie, and it's just like the sky goes red, the editing gets all dark and red, and there's like menacing music, and they're literally just like evading death for like 10 minutes. It's like
it feels like a fucking Star Wars scene where a Sith walks on screen. It's like what the fuck?
Yeah, there's all these metal contraptions and like smashers and things like that trying to destroy them.
I feel like Vader is about to walk in and just force choke them all to death. What the fuck?
Hey, speaking of Star Wars, I thought you were going to bring up, since you're such a Boden's a fucking Star Wars nerd,
Stop.
I thought he was going to bring up Leia and Luke.
Yeah, just the greatest incestuous romance.
I thought Bowden was going to do that.
Bowden loves
it.
Wait,
whoa. Let's not talk about Old Boy. Old Boy has some of the best incestual romance.
Tune in next week to our next episode, incest romance couples.
Yeah, the next week's episode, we just talk about Old Boy for an hour and a half.
Old Boy, check it out, guys. Japanese.
Do you guys have any more?
Story.
Do you guys have any more couples? Because I have one last couple to bring up.
Hit me with
to
that.
Cap it off.
Hit me with that.
Hit us with the last one.
Just the last one because it was honestly a travesty that they never actually got together, and it's a problem I've had even just growing up and reconciling myself as like a man. You know what I mean? It's just it's been tough.
Yeah.
The fact that J.K. Rowling had the audacity to never have Harry Potter and Luna Lovegood end up as a couple is so fucking disrespectful to the story. I mean, can you tell me, like, one of the most utterly romantic...
And that's this week's episode.
And we're gonna have to end it early.
I mean, come on, dude.
Bowden, fuck that. No one cares about them. What people cared about were Ron and Hermione. I would have cared more if you said Ron and Hermione. Much better.
Stop. No, but this is a couple that should have existed but didn't. Like, dude, the most romantic scene Harry had in the books, well, and the movie specifically, was the scene with Luna where they went to see the Thestrals, and like she talked about, they're like, wow, why can't anybody else see them? She's like, well, they can only be seen by people who have witnessed death. And like that's such a beautiful thing that they've both experienced in their life. They can relate on such a deep level.
So
like, come
beautiful,
on,
yeah. So
J.K. Rowling, fuck you.
All right, Chase, send us out.
So yeah, that's the
send us out with my petition on whitehouse.org to have J.K. Rowling removed.
J.K. Rowling actually on the next week's episode. No, just kidding. Okay, that's the end of the episode, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to follow us on any of our social media to stay up to date on what we're doing, or just to yell at us about our opinions, that's great. Or assault us. That's funny. Do it over on Twitter at The Film Knobs, or at our personal ones. Mine is at Certainly Chase. Bowden is at Bowden_. Ashton doesn't have one. He lives under a rock. Or you can follow us on Letterboxd, which is
it's like Patrick Starr.
Yeah, literally. Over on Letterboxd, which is a fun little movie reviewing kind of app, social media app, where me and Bowden are pretty active. Mine is...
It's the Yelp for movies.
Yeah, mine is at Chase TM. Bowden's is at Bowden. Everything will be in the description of this episode. You have to be stupid not to see it. Truly.
Wow. Would you say that they're a knob?
That's where we end it. Guitar riff right after that.